this week?
He's an outstanding football player. We got to do a great job hanging the ball up there, getting our guys time to get down and cover. It's easy to say, oh, I'll just punt it here, punt it there, but directional punting is a challenge. And Ryan's been doing a great job for us this year. But it's going to take 11 guys to stop him. It's going to take great protection and operation in the punt game, and then we all got to get out and cover. And I told them this week, it's not the gunners, it's not the slots, it's not the guards, it's not the tackles that are the most important in coverage. It's all 11, and we got to be there. And he's a handful. He does a great job.
He doesn't have any punt return touchdowns yet this year. I mean, our team's just not kicking to him as much, or
Well, again, when you say not kicking to him, that's a little bit of a misnomer. I mean, people just don't go ahead and punt it out of bounds. I mean, it's easier to say that. Why can't he just kick it out of bounds? But teams are doing a good job of covering it. But I think he's got 3 that I saw on tape that were touchdowns, but they had a block in the back here and there. So he's still pretty active, and he's doing a great job. And sometimes, it's a block here or there if it gets called, or if it doesn't get called. That's the difference in bringing up a touchdown versus a no return.
We took 3 to the house, and they called him back.
Yeah. So he's still doing his thing.
What's the fear in kicking out of bounds? Not getting enough distance?
No, that's not it. It's just a harder angle for those guys. They'll even try it in the NFL sometimes, and it's difficult to do and get a decent punt. You try to directional punt, but just kicking it out of bounds, I mean, very difficult. You just don't pick that up in a week. You just don't say, okay, let's just kick it out of bounds this week. It's just a hard skill. And, Ryan, like I said, has done a great job for us directional punting. And that's something we try to do. And it's no secret, so we can shorten the field. He's got to hang it up there so we can get down there and get it covered.
Do you feel like the players, I mean, especially after what happened last year, that message isn't hard to get through to them this week of how important it's going to be?
Absolutely. Very disappointing with what happened last year, and we don't want to repeat performance of that. And certainly, I think probably North Carolina's hoping to get that. And so it's going to be a test of wills on this one, and excited for our guys to meet the challenge.
Was Teresha, is that a loss for your units, particularly your coverage units?
Well, it is, and any time you lose guys on your units, it just puts more pressure on some other guys to have to play more football or have to assume some different roles. But yeah, Teresha was a good football player for us on teams for sure, as well as defense. And now some other guys have to step up and take that position and embrace it and make plays.
Who initially steps up?
Well, and we hadn't just repped Terrace in certain positions. We always have some depth, but right now our gunners are doing a good job. We've used Devontae Maddox, Nick Grigsby, Lafayette Pitts has done some before. So we got some Reggie Mitchell's going to be out there. So we got guys that at those gunner spots that have stepped up. And
those 4 have been there previously, then, right?
Yeah, and like I said, we'll roll some of those guys depending on the game situation and how much defense they played and what situations they've been in.
Grigsby's the special teams captain. Has he always embraced, playing on special teams? It seems like he puts a lot into it. Guys have said that he gets on other guys about it. I mean, have you always seen that out of him?
Yeah, he's done a great job since we've been here on special teams, and he really takes pride in it. He works extremely hard at it, whether it's practice or the game, and he really prides himself on trying to be one of the best in the ACC on special teams.
The last week, the kickoff return, just breakdown, or what did you see as you went back and looked at that?
I think it was a combination of things. I think we did have some breakdowns in a couple spots. We lost leverage on the thing, and they did a good job. They had a pretty good scheme, and it was a combination. I think it was a breakdown in a couple spots where we lost leverage, and their kid hit the crease, and that was extremely fast. And, that was a big turning point in that football game.
Do you feel like,
Coach, last one?
do you feel like the punt coverage or the kick coverage, one's been better? Or more effective this season?
You know, I don't know if I'd rate one above the other. I think when we are really good in our coverage units, it's all 11 that have been pretty good. And whether it's the kicker kicking it deep and high or kicking it through the end zone, you know, on kickoff. Those are things as the weather turns, though, you get less and less touchbacks from a kicker, especially when we're up here in the north. You know, so the guys got to understand that, you know, we're going to have to cover more kicks than we did the first few games of the season. And, you know, Chris has done a great job for us. And then when you look at the punt cover, you know, we were hot early in terms of sky punts and down on them inside the 10. We haven't had as many opportunities to that. And so now, you know, we'll just have to see how it plays out. But I don't know that I'd rate one above the other. It's been more just situations in a game. And I think our guys have done a great job of working at the different skills in practice. And I think that's why they've embraced it and they're taking pride in covering people. And last week we weren't happy with that one for a touchdown, that's for sure. And there's been a little extra pep in their step covering kicks this week, I'll tell you that.
All right, Coach, thank you.